What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the last word, but it's not like it's going to be a last word review, and it's not going to be like it's crazy new pro strategies for the last word. No, it's going to be for people like me that used the last word before and were terrible with it. And I want to show you why you were terrible with it, and how you can definitely be a lot better with this gun. Basically, last word for absolute noobs, like myself. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button, and subscribe to the channel. Now the last word, I started using it a little bit in this Crimson Doubles event. It's so much fun. It is so good if you're the last person alive and you have this gun, because it kills really quickly, and that reload buff that you get is amazing for this, or any hand cannon really. And right there actually lies the problem with the last word. It's a hand cannon, but you don't treat it like a hand cannon. You don't treat it like any other hand cannon, because if you do, you're not going to do anything good with it, and that's the problem that I see. And I've actually seen some streamers that are using the last word just like I used to use it, and they're really not getting the full benefit of the gun at all. So what we want to do is show you how you can be a last word monster. So this is actually the gun. It's got to be one of the best looking guns in the game. I mean, this game model is really incredible. It's even got Tex Mechanica right there on the side. It's a really nice looking gun. Fanfire is its intrinsic perk, and it says you can fire it quickly and continuously. This just means that it's auto firing, so you can hold down the trigger and just go to town. And we'll talk about why this is good and bad in just a little bit. I'm actually using these soft ballistics. People used to rock out aggressive ballistics in year 1, but now with all the changes and nerfs that this gun had, give me the extra range and just leave it alone as it is. Hipfire is probably its most important perk on the gun. The most important perk. I actually am using single point sling. You could use perfect balance, but I would say it's not worth your effort. Everything that you see in this video is going to be on single point sling. You'll see that you don't really need perfect balance at all. And then of course the last word perk is going to give you some extra damage and stability, especially whenever you are firing from the hip. This gun is just made to go together with all its perks. It's really nice. Some guns don't work well with their perks. Some guns are just made to have all their perks unlocked and be awesome. Okay, now for the visual test, because this is what really locks it in for me. So here we are at a pretty decent range, and we're just aiming down the sights. We are not correcting at all for our shots. And you can see where this gun fired whenever just full auto firing it. It went all the way up that thing. It was just crazy. Now again, I am not going to correct for my shots. And as I'm just hip firing it now, you can see that I go up about half the length. So this is still bad. You know, this is still a really far range for the gun. But you can see that just hip firing it was already a lot better than whenever I was aiming it down the sights. Now I am significantly closer, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to correct for the recoil, and I'm going to aim down the sights and just shoot with this gun. Full auto firing. You can see how high it goes. Again, my grouping is better, and it's pretty much a straight line up there, but I'm not going to hit a whole lot if I'm aiming down the sights and using the full auto. Now we're going to hip fire it full auto again without correcting for the recoil, and look at that. Already you can see that we are much tighter grouped whenever we're in this close range. Much tighter grouped. That's significantly better, and as we take another step forward, it's even better still. And remember, this was all without adjusting for the recoil at all. Again, we're going to show things over. Here is hip firing without correcting for the recoil, aiming down the sights without correcting for the recoil, and now we're going to correct for the recoil and see what happens. Take a look at that. Take a look at that grouping whenever we actually just hold down just a little bit on our stick. Look at that grouping right there. That's why you can absolutely melt people, but you have to be doing it whenever you're hip firing. Even from this long range, let's take a look at that grouping. Look at that grouping even from this range. From this range with just a little bit of correction for recoil, you can still have a really decent grouping at a specific point. But the key is, you can't treat this like a normal hand cannon. You can't be aiming down the sights and using that full auto and still expect to get that quick time to kill. It's just not going to work. You need to hip fire this, and then you can correct for your recoil, and boom, you're going to suddenly be able to kill with the last word. I saw somebody shooting at a wall with this last word, and I saw the grouping, and that's whenever it dawned on me. That's whenever it dawned on me, the light hit, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've been using the last word completely wrong. And now that I know how to use it, I'm still a noob with it because I haven't used it all that much, but I can do significantly better with it. If you're aiming down the sights and trying to kill enemies, whether they be guardians, or fallen, or hive, or taken, you're not going to be as effective as if you're just putting them right in the middle of your crosshair and just hip firing away. Go ahead and use that full auto, and if they get out of range a little bit, you can aim down the sights and just finish them off with some pot shots, like that. So there you go. That's the last word. That's the secret to the last word. So let me know if the light went on for you, if you were a last word noob like I was, and if this helped out at all. If you enjoyed the video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, the Taken King, and I'll see you around in Destiny. This is the last word.